From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version, this 131 day of the year, today we are reading passages 2 Chronicles 2-5 2 Chronicles chapter 2, verses 1 to 18. After this Solomon determined to build a house for the name of the Lord, and a royal house for himself. And Solomon selected 70,000 men to bear burdens, and 80,000 to quarry stone in the mountains, and 3,600 to oversee them. And Solomon sent to Huram king of Tyre, saying, As you know, my father David could not build a house for the name of the Lord his God, because of the warfare with which his enemies surrounded him, until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet. But now the Lord my God has given me rest on every side. There is neither adversary nor misfortune. So I purpose to build a house for the name of the Lord my God, as the Lord said to David my father, Your son, whom I will set upon your throne in your place, shall build the house for my name. Now therefore command that cedars of Lebanon be cut for me. And my servants will join your servants, and I will give you for your servants the hire of your servants which you have provided, for you have no such abundance of cedars as my servants have. Behold, I will send you a master craftsman, a man skilled in working gold, silver, bronze, and iron, and in purple, crimson, and blue stuffs, and in fine linen. Also a master of engraving to work in Judah and Jerusalem, and my father David provided for him. Send me also cedar, cypress, and algum timber from Lebanon, for I know that your servants know how to cut timber in Lebanon. And behold, my servants shall be with your servants, to prepare timber for me in abundance, for the house which I am to build will be great and wonderful. I will give you for your servants the produce of the servants who cut the timber, 20,000 cors of crushed wheat, 20,000 cors of barley, 20,000 baths of wine, and 20,000 baths of oil. Then Huram king of Tyre answered in a letter which he sent to Solomon. Because the Lord loves his people, he has made you king over them. Huram also said, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, who made heaven and earth, who has given to David the king a wise son, endowed with discretion and understanding, who will build a house for the Lord and a royal house for himself. I have now sent a skilled man, endued with understanding, Huram-Abi, the son of a woman of the daughters of Dan, and his father was a man of Tyre. He is skilled to work in gold, silver, bronze, iron, stone, wood, purple, blue, and crimson stuffs, and fine linen, and to make any engraving and to execute any design which may be assigned him, with your craftsmen, the craftsmen of my lord David your father. Now therefore the wheat and barley, the oil and wine, which my lord has spoken of, let him send to his servants. And we will cut whatever timber you need from Lebanon, and will bring it to you in rafts by sea to Joppa, so that you may carry it up to Jerusalem. Then Solomon counted all the aliens who were in the land of Israel, after the census in which David his father had made them, and there were found 153,600. And he set 70,000 of them to bear burdens, and 80,000 to quarry stones in the mountains, and 3,600 to oversee them. 2 Chronicles chapter 3, verses 1 to 17. Then Solomon began to build the house of the Lord in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where the Lord had appeared to his father David, at the place which David had prepared on the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. He began to build in the 2nd month, in the 4th year of his reign. These were the foundations which Solomon laid for building the house of God. The length in cubits was 60 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits. The porch in front of the temple was 20 cubits long, corresponding to the width of the house, and its depth was 10 cubits in front of the house. And he made the structure of the house with its walls of boards overlaid with cedar, and he overlaid the floor of the house with planks of cypress. And he built an inner room, the Holy of Holies, and its length was 20 cubits, and its breadth 20 cubits, and he overlaid it with fine gold, amounting to 600 talents. He overlaid with gold also the altar of cedar. And he made the most holy room, in which the ark of the covenant of the Lord was to be placed, 20 cubits long, 20 cubits wide, and 20 cubits high. And he overlaid it with fine gold, amounting to 600 talents, and the weight of the nails was 50 shekels of gold, and he made the upper chambers of gold. In the most holy house he made 2 cherubim of wood, and overlaid them with gold. The wings of the cherubim were 20 cubits long. One wing of the cherubim, 5 cubits, reached to the wall of the house. And the other wing, 5 cubits, touched the wing of the other cherub, and the other cherub's wing, 5 cubits, touched the wall of the house. And the other wing, 5 cubits, was joined to the wing of the first cherub. The wings of these cherubim extended 20 cubits. The cherubim stood on their feet, and they faced inward. And he made the veil of purple and crimson stuffs and fine linen, and embroidered cherubim on it. In front of the house he made 2 pillars of 35 cubits high, and their capital on top was 5 cubits high. He made chains like a necklace and put them on the tops of the pillars, and he made 100 pomegranates and put them on the chains. He set up the pillars in front of the temple, one on the right hand and the other on the left, and called the one on the right Jachin, and the one on the left Boaz. 2 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 1 to 22. He also made an altar of bronze, 20 cubits long, 20 cubits wide, and 10 cubits high. Then he made the molten sea. It was 10 cubits from brim to brim, and was round in shape. Its height was 5 cubits, and it was 30 cubits in circumference. Under it were figures of oxen, which encircled it, 10 to a cubit, all the way around the sea. The oxen were cast in 2 rows when it was cast. It stood upon 12 oxen, 3 facing north, 3 facing west, 3 facing south, and 3 facing east. The sea was set upon them, and all their hind quarters were inward. Its thickness was a handbreadth, and its brim was made like the brim of a cup, like the flower of a lily. It held 3,000 baths. He also made 10 basins for washing, and set them on the movable stands, 5 on the south side, and 5 on the north side. In them the things used for the burnt offering were washed, but the sea was for the priests to wash in. And he made 10 lampstands of gold according to their design, and set them in the temple, 5 on the south side and 5 on the north. He also made 10 tables and placed them in the temple, 5 on the south side and 5 on the north side, and he made 100 basins of gold. Furthermore he made the court of the priests, and the great court and doors for the court, and overlaid their doors with bronze. And he set the sea at the southeast corner of the house. Huram made the pots, the shovels, and the basins. Thus Huram finished the work for Solomon which he did for the house of God: the 2 pillars, the bowls, the capitals on top of the 2 pillars, and the 2 networks to cover the 2 capitals on top of the 2 pillars. The 400 pomegranates for the 2 networks, 2 rows of pomegranates for each network, to cover the 2 capitals of the pillars, the stands and the basins on the stands, the sea and the 12 oxen under it, the pots, the shovels, the flesh hooks, and all the utensils of Huram, which he made for King Solomon for the house of the Lord of bronze, the weight of which could not be determined. In the plain of the Jordan the king cast them, in the clay ground between Sukkot and Zarethan. Solomon made all these vessels in great quantities, for the weight of the bronze could not be determined. And Solomon made all the vessels for the house of God, the golden altar also, and the tables for the showbread. The lampstands and their lamps of gold, according to the prescribed manner for lighting them, the flowers, the lamps, and the tongs of gold. The snuffers, basins, ladles, and firepans of pure gold, and the sockets for the doors of the innermost part of the house, the most holy place, and for the doors of the nave of the temple, of gold. 2 Chronicles chapter 5, verses 1 to 19. Thus all the work that Solomon did for the house of the Lord was finished. And Solomon brought in the things that David his father had dedicated, the silver and the gold, and all the vessels, and put them in the treasuries of the house of God. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel, and all the heads of the tribes, the leaders of the fathers' houses of the people of Israel, before King Solomon in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. And all the men of Israel assembled before the king at the feast, which was in the 7th month. And all the elders of Israel came, and the Levites took up the ark. And they brought up the ark, and the tent of meeting, and all the holy vessels that were in the tent. The priests and the Levites brought them up. And King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel, who had assembled before him, were with him before the ark, sacrificing so many sheep and oxen that they could not be counted or numbered. And the priests brought the ark of the covenant of the Lord to its place, in the inner sanctuary of the house, in the most holy place, underneath the wings of the cherubim. For the cherubim spread out their wings over the place of the ark, so that the cherubim covered the ark and its poles. And the poles were so long that the ends of the poles were seen from the holy place in front of the inner sanctuary. But they could not be seen from outside, and they are there to this day. There was nothing in the ark except the 2 tablets of stone which Moses put there at Horeb, where the Lord made a covenant with the people of Israel when they came out of the land of Egypt. And when the priests came out of the holy place, a cloud filled the house of the Lord, so that the priests could not stand to minister because of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord filled the house of God. Then Solomon summoned to Jerusalem at the feast the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the leaders of the people of Israel, and all the heads of the fathers' houses of the people of Israel, to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord from the city of David, which is Zion. And all the elders of Israel, and all the heads of the tribes, the leaders of the people of Israel, and all the heads of the fathers' houses came to King Solomon in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. And the priests brought the ark of the covenant of the Lord into its place, in the inner sanctuary of the house, in the most holy place, underneath the wings of the cherubim. The poles of the ark were seen from the holy place in front of the inner sanctuary, but they could not be seen from outside, and they are there to this day. Then the priests came out of the holy place to bless the people. And the glory of the Lord filled the house of God. And all the people of Israel looked on, when the fire came down from heaven, and consumed the burnt offering and the sacrifices. And the people worshipped and praised the Lord, saying, For he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. But Solomon could not make the house serviceable, for it was too great a weight.